Welcome to another Wednesday edition of Virtually Tasting the featured Foggy Noggin Beer of the Week. This week we're going to be tasting Cream Ale. This is a beer we brew this time of year each year in honor of our very own Stephanie and Lee. And we first brewed this beer for their wedding, which they just had their anniversary yesterday for their 9th anniversary. So 9 years ago was the release of this beer at their wedding. And it's become a wedding favorite. We get a lot of orders for this beer for different weddings. It's good for any time. It's a great special occasion. It's a lighter beer that you can have at a great occasion. Have a few of these, and we'll learn more about it. It's available for curbside pickup this weekend in growler fills. So, Cream Ale is 5.2% alcohol by volume, and it's got 22 IBUs. It's not a bitter beer at all. This is a very refreshing, clean beer. We brew it in a half barrel batch, 15.5 gallons. Starting gravity is 1049, finishing gravity 1010. Color is 5.8, so it's very clear, nice dark straw color on it, good clarity on it, nice white head on it. Mash. So we have our 5 different malts that we use. Well, really 4 malts and an adjunct. So 73% of the malt bill is Pilsner malt. We use Weyermann's Bohemian Pilsner malt, which is floor malted. 17.75 pounds, which is 73% of the malt bill. We use a half a pound of Alberta's Raar Alex 2-row, which is 2%. 1 pound each of Belgian biscuit malt. We use the Castle brand, and we use Crystals 45, 1 pound, to 4% each. And the last is we use 4 pounds of flaked maize, which is 17% of the total amount of grains. Now the flaked maize, you don't want to mill that. You want to make sure that is not milled, or it's going to become just dust. So mill your grains, leave the flaked maize as it is, and add it into the mash and stir it in. 152 is the mash temp that we have. We want a pretty clean fermentation on that. We don't want too much mouthfeel on it, not too heavy. We want to have moderately to low chain sugar, so it's going to be easy to convert to alcohol. 152 mash, we sparge it with 170 degree water, and then we collect all of our sugars into the boil kettle. At 60 minutes left, we add 1 ounce of Magnum hops from Germany, 22 IBUs, and then we have 4 ounces of UK Goldings at flame out, and that gives us no more IBUs. So we let it ferment at 65 degrees. We pitch it there, let it rise to 68. 7-day fermentation. Transfer it to secondary, 32 degrees for 7 days. That's where we get our clarity, is through natural cold filtration on it. And then we carbonate it to 1.5 volumes. Now, you're going to see a lot of these cream ales on nitro, or you're going to see them much more carbonated. It can do either way. We've poured it on nitro before, just can't get it to go. And since we're not open quite yet, we're doing just in CO2 carbonated for growler fills. Cold temperature for serving, 40 degrees. You want to enjoy this beer at a colder temperature. You're going to want to get that refreshness out of it and enjoy it. So let's take a look at this beer. Got great color to it, great clarity to it. Nice nose. I'm getting some lightly sweet, maybe caramel flavors, maybe a little butterscotch. Very malty. It's got a creamy texture. It's very malty. I still pick up some of those butterscotchy tones, maybe a little corn flavor on that. It's a little on the sweet side up front, but it finishes very clean and pretty dry in the finish, so it doesn't finish with that cloyingly sweet finish. Just enough hops to make that dryness occur without being bitter at all. Very pleasant aftertaste. Now, cream ale, you would think it's going to have some kind of a lactose or a milk product in there, and there is none. And that's kind of a fallacy. People think, well, it must have milk in it. You call it cream, or it's going to have some lactose, and it doesn't. This is one of the true American beer styles. So the cream ale and the California Common, which was brewed in San Francisco area originally, but the cream ale was brewed in the mid-1800s as an American beer, as an alternative to some of the lagers and pilsners that were being brewed. And so it was an ale instead of a lager or pilsner. And Prohibition pretty much took out production in the United States, and some of the Canadian breweries continued to brew it during Prohibition, and it's making a resurgence. Even in England, Boddington's, which is a very famous beer, they call it a pale ale, but it really truly is a cream ale, and that's really the significance in the British brewing history is the Boddington style. It's really refreshing, very approachable. I think if you have some friends that maybe they don't like the stronger flavors, they don't like that bitterness, this might be a beer that they'd really enjoy. It's not a beer for non-beer fans, but it might be a beer that non-beer fans can maybe as a gateway beer to get them into the craft beer. Growler fills for $16 Friday and Saturday this weekend. Curbside pickup. Go to the FoggyNogginBrewing.com website and hit the beer tab. Details on this beer as well as other beers for growler fills and all the bottles that are available and merchandise. And so you place those orders and you have it ready for curbside pickup. I'm going to flip the camera around and I can take some questions if anybody has any. This is always the fun part, getting this camera redone here. So let's see what we got. We got Kim, Diana, and I don't see other names, but I see there's other people in here. So I don't know why they're not popping up on me, but I don't see any questions right now. But this is a really, really great beer for weekend enjoyment, having a barbecue out there, getting some people over. I think they'd really enjoy this beer. Think about it. If you're going to have a special event, you could order a keg from us for a wedding or a reception or a family get-together and have that keg for your party. But for this weekend, growler fills. $16 for a half gallon. Delicious. And the ingredients I mentioned early on, so if you join late or watching, we'll archive this on our Facebook page, and it's all the beers that we do. They're on our YouTube channel, the Foggy Noggin Brewing YouTube channel. It's got all of the beers with the recipes, the brewing ingredients. Now, one thing I didn't say, we use London water on this one, and we also use the Fuller's White Labs 002 as our yeast. So I failed to tell you that. And the last thing, with 20 minutes left in the boil, we put in some Irish moss, and that's our clarity agent that we add to the beer. So I hope to see people on this weekend for curbside pickup, Friday and Saturday, 4 to 5 p.m. FoggyNogginBrewing.com website, hit the beer tab. All the details are there. Tomorrow night is the happiest half hour of the week. Join us for some piano, music, songs, just downright fun. It's the official start of the weekend. And that's every Thursday at 5:30. Curbside pickup Friday, Saturday, 4 to 5 p.m. And then next week we'll be doing a virtual tasting on our original first beer we ever did, the Bitter Beaver. So that'll be our featured beer next week. So thanks for tuning in. Everybody have a great evening. Enjoy the crazy weather. Last night this time I would have had hail on me, but right now I got the sun shine right in my face, which you can see behind. The hops are enjoying that sunshine. Let's see, Elise just joined and John joined. John sounds great. Love to come get some this weekend. Having a Mai Tai right now. Love Boddington's Blow the Conch. Yeah, that's what. So I met John in Hawaii, and John is quite the conch blower, and he has a lot of fun, and he lives here locally. So I hope to see you, John. So go to the FoggyNogginBrewing.com website, hit the beer tab, all the details on how to order some of this wonderful cream ale. And thanks for joining, everybody. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you this weekend.